tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Eman. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh yeah, it's really beautiful song. Makes me think of Danny and Will forever. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in for the Mindy Project, Season 3, Episode 7, and the episode is titled We Need to Talk About Annette. My name is Sam Davidson, and I have Eman Redwan here with me.
Hi guys.
And let's get right into it, starting from the beginning.
Let's talk about Annette.
Yeah, let's talk about Annette. So we open with Danny and Mindy in bed, which is adorable.
It feels like they're always in bed.
I know.
It's like the cutest thing.
They just need to have more delivery.
Yeah.
I think, into the equation.
Mm-hmm.
So she illegally downloads a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she got it from the internet. It sounds like when my mother talks about the internet. And have you ever illegally downloaded things before?
I used to always illegally download movies until recently I got a bunch of viruses and my computer was completely out of control. And then after that, I promised myself I would never do it again.
Yeah, I know. I recently had a friend be like, oh, we can't find this movie. I have this great program we'll download. I've never gotten caught. Then, of course, I get the email from AT&T, my internet provider.
Saying what?
That has been notified that I have been doing illegal activity.
They can do that?
Yeah, and they were
Wow.
like, you know, we're going to protect you. And I was like, what? Like, we just watched this weird Anna Faris, like, stoner movie that was not on the internet. And we just, you know, we found it. So I really related to her when she did that.
That's hilarious. I actually was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he was telling me how much he loved Let's Be Cops. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really love Let's Be Cops. But then I realized I watched it on bootleg. And it doesn't have the same effect. When you illegally download movies, the quality is so poor that you just can't even enjoy a movie the way you're supposed to.
Yeah. And what I love about this, though, is they have this fictional, I mean, clearly they can find where you live and your internet provider, like me. Hopefully they're not going to come pounding on my door.
They might.
Yeah, and who knows, they could be videotaping me. Like, they all of a sudden, Danny and Mindy got put on camera, and it's like recording, and then he threw his, and I love it. And, you know, Mindy's a doctor. They make good money, unlike Morgan, who's a nurse. So she just goes, just buy a new computer. You just keep on downloading until you buy a new computer. So they've gotten close to the point that it seems as though Mindy going over to Danny's mother's house for dinner is a somewhat regular occurrence. They've gotten over the hump of, you know, her figuring out who she is, the mother coming to terms with this is who her son loves. And she goes over there for dinner again. They decide to go shopping.
Yes.
Yes. So they go on this shopping adventure, and she comes out, Annette, with this awesome dress, the Rihanna dress that...
the bathing suit.
Yes.
Yes.
And
it definitely really looked like something Rihanna would wear or has worn in the past. I'm pretty sure if we go through her Instagram, there's a bathing suit shot of her wearing the same exact bathing suit.
good for Annette.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, you know, she didn't look bad.
She didn't.
No, not at all. And so then we see them continuing to shop. Also, Mindy knows Danny's social security number.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, which I think is a big step in a relationship. However, he probably doesn't know that she knows it.
Exactly. Which
is just funny and probably one of the things we don't see about their relationship. Her snooping through all of his stuff, which I think could be a possible future fun episode.
Definitely.
What I'm really actually enjoying is just that they're covering what a relationship is actually like, you know, because in a lot of different shows, it's like they break up every other episode.
Right.
And it gets old.
Yeah.
So they're kind of, you know, showing us what it's like and, you know, what it's like to be in a friendship with a mother of a man you're dating.
Yeah. They're also showing you how to overcome relationship obstacles. I think we discussed this in the last few weeks, you know, America is infatuated with just, you know, giving up. Like, oh, you're late, I'm gonna give up on the relationship. But like, they're constantly faced with different, you know, obstacles, and they're constantly overcoming it, and they're talking through it. So I think that's an important lesson that they're teaching America. I like that.
I know. What did we say something last week about the Mindy Project is like the new Oprah? We said something about Oprah.
I thought I was referring to myself as being Oprah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was Britney last week, but then you were Beyonce. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now we're just
Beyonce.
Yes. Now we're just ourselves. So we, you know, Annette comes shopping with a big bag. And it's just so, because some people are total kleptos. Like, they grew up stealing stuff and they've never gotten caught. They have money. It's not like they're criminals.
Right.
And we see Annette steal a jacket. And did it look like she stole anything else, or was it just the jacket?
I think it was specifically that jacket, from what I noticed.
Yeah. And Mindy sees her. And then it kind of turns into this awkward thing. You don't want to be the girl that tells your boyfriend your mom steals things.
That's an awkward place to be. Even if it wasn't your boyfriend's mother, if it was a friend or anything, just to see somebody stealing, and it's like, oh my God, you're a grown up.
Yeah.
If you're a teenager, okay, I'd be like, teenagers do that.
Going through a hard time.
Yeah. You're a 60 plus, you're a senior citizen. you know?
Which she, you know, who knows? Maybe that's a whole new stem of things we don't know about. You know, older people using it to be like, I don't know where, I just forgot.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
She totally worked it.
Yeah.
And also, Danny is such a mama's boy. She, I think, has said, too, that she really loves him the most. She just, that's her boy.
Yes.
And, I mean, they have a very affectionate relationship, and she relies on him a lot.
A lot, yes, for sure.
She wanted to get him something nice, and
I just didn't, not to interrupt you, but I didn't understand why she just didn't be like, hey, Mindy, let's get this for Danny. Mindy would have got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of it, too, is possibly what she says at the end, like, oh, I'm just so bored. And, but, you know, I also think that she was just trying to come up with some kind of excuse. But, you know, the fact that Mindy didn't want to tell Danny, and then, you know, she went into Jeremy's office and asked him, that was funny. I missed him. He wasn't in last week's episode.
He wasn't. I think Jeremy is the best person to ask. I feel like from everybody in the office, he's the one with the most straight.
Yes. And not just because he's British.
Exactly. Well, that may have a little bit to do.
A little part.
A little bit. But I think he gave her really good advice. It's a hard place to be, and you don't want to be the person that breaks the news to your boyfriend that's a mama's boy. Yeah. Who knows if he's going to believe you or whose side he's going to take. So.
But at the end of the day, in a real world, if you go shopping with your serious boyfriend's mother and the mother shoplifts, you tell your boyfriend. I mean, that's kind of like and it was a $500 jacket. I mean, if it was, I'm not in a serious relationship, so I don't really, I guess, know what it would be like, but I just think I'd say something, because then something else is going to happen, and you'll say, oh, well, I knew because I saw her shoplifting, and then why didn't you tell me? That kind of thing.
You're right about that. With me, I would be really scared to have that conversation. It's such an awkward conversation to have, that if that was my husband, I would totally, no doubt about it, tell him. But if it was my boyfriend, and knowing how close Danny is with his mother, I would be very skeptical about telling him. I think I would have tried to have a talk with her instead of try to, you know, throw her under the bus with Danny.
I agree. But then she ends up going there because
the bracelet.
Yes, the bracelet. Tamara loses her bracelet, and the first thing she thinks, well, Tamara also says she was with Mindy, or with Danny's mother,
Annette.
Annette. So it made sense. You know, Mindy was trying to keep quiet, and something else happened. It made sense that she assumed that it was Annette. And I also love this Dot person, by the way. She's just always there. And she came when they were watching Passion of the Christ. And I actually thought that was really funny, that whole dialogue. Poor Mel.
Poor Mel. Yeah.
And I mean, do you think that that Annette knew that Mindy saw it all, or no?
No, I think she had no idea.
Or else she wouldn't have probably put all the blame on Mindy.
Yes, that's why she was acting like that. Because if she knew that Mindy saw her, she would have probably like pulled Mindy aside or something, because she doesn't want that to get out. But the fact that she just thought Mindy came out of nowhere with that accusation, that's why she was like, oh, I'm gonna run with this, you know?
Because, I mean, do you really think she likes her? Like, do you think Annette likes Mindy a lot? I think they're starting to like each other.
I think it's fairly new, so I don't think she sees her as being his wife yet, but I think she's warming up to her every episode that they're in together. I definitely see her warming up to her today, especially like when she said, I love the fact that you put him in his place just like me, whatever. I think that's what she said. Yeah, so I think she likes her and she knows that she's a good person for Danny, but I don't think she's all the way convinced yet.
Yeah, and this probably was a couple steps back for them this episode.
I don't know. I feel like she could take it as a couple steps back, but she could also take it as a couple steps forward, because a person that doesn't care just doesn't say anything. You know, lets you do you and get, you know, especially with the fact that she was like, let's run. You don't want your mother in jail. That should show her how much she cares and, you know, wants a long-term relationship with Danny.
Yeah.
If a person that didn't see a future was in that scenario, they'd be like, yeah, she needs to go to jail, or yeah, let's wait for Gary.
Yeah, because they were going to call Gary.
Yeah, so.
I mean, that, honestly, now thinking about it, is like initiation into a family. There's no going back. If you do something illegal, go for an emotional Thanksgiving or Christmas where family members starting to kill each other, you know, that kind of thing. I'm Jewish, so it's not my Christmas, don't worry. But, yeah, I think that, too, though, was Danny and Mindy really like teaming together, working together, and hopefully Annette will appreciate that. I really hope so.
The whole family first thing was really cute because it was showing that he considered Mindy as family and not just a girlfriend, and that's a big compliment.
I just got the chills. I think they're so really very adorable and a great representation of a, you know, a modern day couple that makes it work. And they're just very, I mean, what's so nerve-wracking though about them is that I always feel like they're kind of, something could easily happen that could make either one of them angry and just go off, but they always come back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the season finale is going to end up being something like that, where it's like, will they be together? Will they not? You know, that's every season finale is always like that. So I think throughout the season, you have the ups and downs, but they come back together constantly. But at the end of the season, it's like, they're going to leave us hanging, and we won't know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they make it somewhat original.
Yeah, I hope
But there's a formula that you follow for things like these.
Rom-coms,
Yeah, rom-coms.
Yeah.
Speaking of cum, I would like to talk about Peter and Abby.
I'm not even going to say what I thought you said, but let's move right along.
What did you think I said?
No, it's inappropriate. Let's move around.
All right, well, tell me after. So I really liked this storyline a lot. I think that Abby's character changed very fast.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. It was kind of like they wanted her out of there really quickly. They just made her too drastic. It's like, she wasn't like that last week.
No.
She was very conservative, and she was a writer.
Intelligent.
And this week, she was like a loose cannon, you know?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's cool to, like, it's not cool to smoke and drink all the time. It's not cool, actually. But it's cool to be laid back and easygoing. Every man wants that. But then again, it's like, you got to have priorities, and you got to, you know, have some type of structure in your life, and you got to know what's important.
I mean, but what she's got going clearly works. She's doing well for herself. What did she say? That she was the Matthew McConaughey of romance novels.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. And not until the end of the episode, I realized that they were just writing her out.
Yeah.
Like, literally out, then back in. Because she's so high that she didn't know where
funny.
She was.
Yeah.
It was, but I was just like, no, now they're killing it for her to ever come back.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have given her a few episodes for her to, you know, slowly transition into this party girl. But it was like, last week she was this conservative girl, and this week, she was like a college girl. It's too different.
Yeah, I mean, when they woke up in bed together, Abby and Peter,
yeah,
it was fast. Didn't really shock me. I mean, she is a romance novelist,
Yeah.
not saying that they are promiscuous, but that's kind of, her research.
He did say it was the best ever.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And she just seemed chill in the morning. It
Yeah.
kind of seemed like he didn't want to go to brunch, He didn't
Yeah.
want to do those things. I mean, maybe she was going out for mimosas and they were going to like have, drink and do whatever they're... At that point, I didn't think that she was not bad, but too much party girl for him.
You thought she
no,
was or
not
she was- you
not
didn't
at
think?
that point. I thought that point was cool. I was like, they're a perfect match.
I was like, that's me, minus I love brunches, but minus that, like,
Yeah.
I love to chill. But I was totally cool with that, and I was on board with that. I was like, oh, I can see this being something. And then it was like, party girl.
Yeah, and
Turn
then
up.
the all-night party.
Yeah, that's a bit much. I think it's fine to be laid back and, just party all the time, whatever. But if you're trying to be in a relationship and have a real family in the future, you got to kind of, like, start slowing down a little bit. Especially because she's, like, what? Maybe, like, mid-30s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I mean, I'm assuming...
I can't really see that happening in real life.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people it takes a long time to grow up.
Yeah.
And I think she has money. I think a big point of that is that she has money and she can do those things. Did we find out last week how Tamara knew her?
They're like best friends or something because they were like twins, remember?
Yeah. But they're so not.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love, but she seems very cool. She seems very fun. I was kind of angry that Mindy just like didn't take Peter's shift after she was like, I loved when Mindy met her also. That was so funny. Of course, she had her own pitch for her own romance
Of course,
novel.
Mindy would.
Starring her.
Yeah.
Just what? Chubby Indian girl, as she would say, instead of Bella. But Peter, maybe this is something that he needed to help him realize that he's ready to grow up and have a serious relationship.
I think that's where they were going with that. Yep.
So I kind of like that all these women are coming in and out of his life because I love his character.
I think the reason why they rushed her out is because they're getting ready to introduce what's her name's character. I keep forgetting her name. Say the last
Julia
dance.
Stiles.
Julia Stiles. She hasn't made a movie in so long that I can never remember her name.
Well, actually, a fan on YouTube apparently corrected us last week, saying that it wasn't that Julia Stiles is not his love interest.
Whose love interest is she?
Jeremy's, I think, is what they said. I'm not sure but someone commented and said that, so it's going to be interesting to see, or if you guys know any more information, which love interest she's for, when she's coming in.
She's coming into the show.
Yeah.
We know that for a fact, but I thought I saw she was going to be Peter's love interest.
I mean, that would make the most sense.
Yeah, and they were going to reintroduce Lauren and Jeremy's as a couple or whatever. That's
well, because, Lauren and Jeremy are clearly still together. And we saw that tonight when he kind of briefly mentioned her. And Peter's still not over it, by the way. He threw something at him. So
I thought they made up.
I thought they made up, too.
Yeah.
They were beer pong partners.
It's like, you've moved on. Let's all move on. You know?
But I kind of liked that because I don't like it when people on shows will just be like, we dealt with this problem and now it's officially over and we're never going to talk about it again. Real people hold grudges and they have memories. And so they kind of remember.
Yeah. But the Dartmouth, is that Dartmouth?
Dartmouth, yeah.
Episode, I felt like they really bonded and they really got past it. So to see them going backwards today was kind of like, oh, what happened there? You know?
It made me think that some kind of scene was cut or something for some reason, that he brought her, that, Jeremy brought Lauren up. Peter got mad, something happened, but they just went at each other. I mean, I'm assuming she might come back, but
who, Lauren?
Lauren.
She definitely is coming back. I follow Mindy on Instagram.
Yes.
And they were shooting scenes with her in it.
I'm sorry, but she's so boring.
Oh my God. When I saw that, I was like, not this again. Well, we love you as an actor. But
absolutely.
We don't love you as their love interest.
We just don't like the character of Lauren.
We would love to have you on our show, though.
Yeah. If you ever want to come by.
Yeah, definitely. Come on by.
We'll be really nice. But, I actually think that Jeremy needs someone like Abby. Not saying that's going to happen, but he needs some, because he's kind of boring too.
Okay, I've got confused.
So
you're saying
many.
Jeremy and Abby.
Not realistically, but he needs someone
to
not
bring the
like
fun out
Lauren.
of him.
Yes, he needs someone to bring the fun out of him.
Well, a lot of people that are conservative and straight edged, they think that they need somebody exactly like them. But as we see with Mindy and Danny, opposites do attract, and if you're willing to make it work, it really can work, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think with Lauren and Jeremy, they're just like a boring couple. They're the same person. They're not gonna last, I don't think, personally. Yeah. But I don't know if Jeremy can handle Abby. She's a bit much, but somebody to bring out the fun in him. Mm-hmm. You know, stay out past midnight one night.
Yeah, I want to see more. I mean, we missed him last week. We saw him briefly this week. Yeah. I really want to see more of him. And to be honest, though, love triangles fascinate me, and I think they fascinate America. And I wish we actually could have kind of seen more of that. I think it put a big damper on it that Lauren had a child, so it's like you can't mess with her life that much.
Yeah. It's funny because it seems like they're just rotating people each week. It's like, oh, this week we're going to talk about this person. This week we're going to focus on this person, because they only have 30 minutes, so there's only so much that they can fit in. So I think Jeremy has been silent in the last few episodes. Next week he's really going to have a role, like a stronger role. Next couple weeks, I think.
Yeah. I mean, also because Mindy's not single anymore, and it's not like it used to be that every week or every month there was a new guy.
Yeah.
A new love interest, which was kind of the start of the show, where it was very much grounded, and now she's moved into a serious relationship. So it's like, what do you do? Where do you go from that?
I would love to see them all hang out. I don't understand why they all don't, like, have a house party or, like, a get-together or, like, go to a bar together or dinner together. Like, I would love to see them in the dynamic of their friendship.
I agree. I mean, they missed a Halloween episode this year, which they had, I think they had pretty good ones for the past 2 years. They're because there have been episodes where they have gotten together, but it's only for special occasions.
Yeah.
Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. So I mean, I'm sure maybe there'll be a Thanksgiving one.
Yeah, I hope they have like a nice big Thanksgiving dinner party and everybody's invited and there's drama.
Yeah. Always drama, especially thrown in with alcohol.
Yes, and turkey.
And you know what? That just made me think I'm so glad I'm not a doctor, because it sucks how...
To be on call?
Yeah, to be on call. And again, really weird and rude that Mindy would not cover Peter's shift.
Well, I think it was more important for her to go to Danny's mom's house to fix things instead of letting him party all night.
Find somebody else.
Well, he should have found somebody else.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she was doing him a favor, but really, you're just going to party. And this is, like, serious life.
Yeah, and I also found it interesting. I mean, depending on what age everybody is, we're not really sure, early to mid-30s. But when Peter said about Abby, we've never been together, not messed up. Honestly, especially when you're a college person, that happens in relationships. You start dating someone and you always go out drinking.
Yeah.
Or what have you. And like I said, I think that relationship somehow made him realize that he's growing up.
Yeah.
And what did he say? He was staying home.
He did the dishes.
It was great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when you go hard back to back, like a week back to back, you just want a day to just relax and not do anything. So
Yeah.
I don't think he was used to hanging out every night, especially from like dating Lauren. For sure, he wasn't used to that. And this girl comes, she's like, "Let's party, let's do a 24-hour party, blah blah blah." And then he's probably exhausted, but he didn't know how to tell her. So I think in the back of his mind, he was kind of excited that he was on call and he could leave at any time.
Yeah. So who knows who his next love interest will be. Really quickly, I want to talk about iTunes. We love hearing from you guys on iTunes or YouTube. We love reading your comments, seeing your theories, you guys telling us news that we don't know. So please go on iTunes, rate and review us. If you like us, give us 5 stars. If you think we could do something better, give us 4 stars. Tell us what we could be doing better. And please keep on watching and commenting because we absolutely love to hear from you. On that note, let's go into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Alright, Eman, what do you think is going to happen next week?
We're going to see more of Jeremy for sure. I still feel like we're going to have a love interest for Peter. If it's not her, maybe a new love interest. Danny and Mindy, I don't think they're going to really have any more problems because I can't imagine what else. But honestly, every week they've pulled something that I never could have imagined. So maybe there'll be another issue with them next week. Tamara and... what's his name? Blanking. Morgan. Maybe something with them because they haven't really had anything going on the last couple weeks.
I definitely liked that they were back this week, at least in some capacity.
Yeah, they're cute. They're still together, right?
I think so.
It hasn't really been addressed.
Yeah.
Well, yes, he got her the bracelet, the gift store.
Yeah, so now I think they're officially back together.
So I think next week, Jeremy's gonna have the biggest role. That's my prediction.
I hope so. I actually miss him. I want him back. I think that Mindy and Danny are going to have problems, but it's not going to be in the near future because I think that the writers expected the audience to think that it wasn't going to last and for them to be problems between them. So I think that will continue and they will keep on being this power couple that overcomes something every single week, which is always great to see. And yeah, there's going to be definitely a new love interest. I'm hoping for Jeremy. We need to be firm on that news. We will be next week with Julia Stiles. But I just also, I don't know. I love Peter. I think he definitely is going to get, because this was a great dichotomy because Abby and Lauren, 2 different ends of the spectrum here. And he is going to find somebody beautiful and in the middle. So that's what I think is going to happen. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ImaniFresh.
Okay, great. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at SamD43 and online at SamDavidsonEntertainment.com. And I would also just like to thank the Glam Squad for coming here and doing my makeup tonight. It was a lot of fun. And don't forget, you can find AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.